I understand the immigration, the border. I understand all arguments because I've been through it and I've had to debate it. But what's a problem for me is that you have foreign governments trying to cause a rift and then promote ideologies that will empower people specifically to push forward policy that will actually put us as like second tier as opposed to the Chinese government. And I do think that the Chinese government in their execution has been very, very specific about how they want to hinder our ability to be global dominators. And I think when you're looking at what happened in COVID timeframe, right? It's like a lot of people said that Wuhan lab leak, that was a conspiracy theory. We now know that it happened and that was true. But at the same time, if you look at what President Trump was doing, he was actually trying to negotiate trade with China and he was winning. And then all of a sudden COVID happened. Well, what was interesting second time around in Trump 2.0 is that you have all these Temu riots taking place at the same time, and it almost got no coverage in the mainstream media, but you had multiple Chinese nationals that were caught trying to release agro-terrorism weapons.
Yeah, we talked about that stuff.
Yeah, agro-terrorism weapons, and then at the same time, the tariff war was taking place, and then you actually saw them trying to infiltrate. So I don't think it's by accident, but I do think that it's important to remember that just because you see something happening on the mainstream media, the media will always try to amplify something because it's rage baiting and it's click and it's views, which translates to money.
And if it's negative against Trump, it gets front page news.
Of course. But when you actually look at where the funding stream is coming from, it actually goes back to China. And this is not the only incident where they try to drive a wedge between Americans and then actually compartmentalize with Hispanic Americans specifically. So in 2016, now the largest voting minority in the country are Hispanic Americans, specifically of Mexican descent. And I think you can find that stat on pewhispanic.org. So when you're looking at voting demographics, how could you influence an entire demographic to help skew or influence a midterm election? And it would be specifically probably on the immigration topic to try to race bait people. But then you have this aspect of the same guy, Neville Singham, his wife actually funds an organization called Code Pink. So this is all Chinese money now going to a separate cause. And this one specifically is on the Israel versus Palestine issue. They don't care about Israelis or Palestinians. This is a Chinese funded group. And what they're doing is they're using that front in an effort to then divide on that topic as well. So it's a multifaceted approach using minority classes in order to actually push the end goal, which would be communism.
Wow.
And